and he tried to make it really work good, but it sometimes breaks down when we really travel a long distance.
Did we try to?
It's better that you ask me, and I can talk even a little bit better, I think, on things that I really need to say.
What? He needs an intro. Okay, that didn't work. Cool.
Ask about the other needs. Other needs.
All right. What other needs are there for your projects?
Okay, I think I tried to touch on the main projects that we are involved in, and each program really needs a lot of support, like within the spiritual work that we say, within the evangelism work, there are new churches coming up, and then we have to really train them. And then, because every time we are, it's not the one church that really we work with. We always try to plant new churches. So, and when people come, they come with new needs. So we have to be ready for that. And we try to solve with the things that we have in hand now. But after, especially when the church starts growing, there is a very big need of what we call the development in general, say like building the worship houses, and especially when we deal with the farmers, farmers really need with a lot of inputs, like improved seeds, fertilizers, and farm implements. And these really require a lot of support, especially the farming community. They have land, but they don't have means to get the necessary inputs. So it is really very difficult to deal with people when they are really in desperate need. So we try to calm them down, but with the support we have in hand, we try to help them. Then in every area there is really a very big need, but we don't want to really become burdensome on the need requirement, because there are so many villages, and each village has its own church with a lot of people in there, and each church has, we call it a congregation. So in each congregation there are so many needs. And for example, since we started our mission work, what the way we have been handling the congregation was, we were trying to focus on specific congregations as a mother church, like the first churches that we met first, and then we try to really help and grow these specific congregations. And these congregations in turn, then they will try to help the newly emerging or coming on the newly planted churches. Otherwise, we cannot really go and help all the new churches that those are which are planted. So we try to encourage the mother churches, what we call, for example, in Gidole area, we focus on 2 mother churches, one in the highland and one in the lowland. So around those mother churches, there are so many other congregations newly planted. For example, the one in the highlands, it has about more than 5 actually more than 6 congregations. And the one in the lowland also has the same number of new congregations. So that is the way we approach. Otherwise, we cannot go to all of them at the same time. We bring all people from the newly planted churches to the mother churches and train them. And also the people who came from the new churches go back and try to help the people in the churches. Also try to also to teach the gospel as well, because that the part of our training is about the gospel itself. And so there are young people who are really gifted, who can quickly learn and also preach and teach other people in the churches. That is the way we really approach. And on our part, we really mainly focus on training, the preaching, and also trying to provide some of the resources that we have in our hands.
Government help them get like seed and fertilizer and the equipment they need to help the farmers?
At one point, the government helped you, gave you trees to plant to help stop erosion. Do you get any support like that anymore?
Say it again, please. The government support what?
At one point, the government gave you money to plant trees to stop erosion. Do you get support like that anymore, or is it's the support from this church that helps you buy seeds and other things?
Yeah, most of the time it is the support that you give us. The government will probably show us where to go out and plant the trees.
Okay.
They would provide they will just show us where the need is. Otherwise, they won't support. They don't give any support to us.
Can we hear from Miriam and Muse about what they're doing?
Sure. So Muse is here, and they can.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Mariam. I'm the oldest, and I'm currently working as a physician at a nearby hospital. Currently working in the NICU, in the neonatal ICU. So I work with a lot of tiny babies. Yeah. And we go to the same church. We participate in youth worship, and we go on mission trips to different areas here in Ethiopia. I personally go on different medical mission trips. So we go out and give free medical service to rural areas that are further away and aren't reached. So yeah, that's pretty much, I'm usually just busy with work, but yeah.
And I'm Muse. I also do a lot of, I'm a computer major student here in Awasa University. Currently still taking my master's degree in computer science. And yeah, I help my dad in pretty much most of his missions. When he goes out, I'm the designated driver most of the time. So we take the car out and yeah. And also, I don't know if he mentioned it, but now I think nowadays we're trying to take videos and photographs better, so we can show you guys. Like now we have a drone, and we're like eager to show you what we have from the last mission that we had, and we want to show you like the highlands and how the church is, like where it's located, like, and it's like the last time that we went there, it was very close to the clouds. Like some of the times it was like we were walking on the clouds, and it was very interesting to go see the places. And yeah, and I currently work with on some of my own businesses, and so I work with friends till I finish my master's degree. And yeah, I help out pretty much my family and whatever they need. And it's, yeah, that's what we do.
Love to see how they've grown up.
Yes.
They both born in names.
Pardon?
Were they both born in names?
Oh, yeah, yes.
That's what I thought.
Oh, no,
Those two.
born here. They were the ones that
They came.
brought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe.
Remember when Joel,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can still see him.
Pastor, ask him how his truck is running and what happens when it breaks down.
Yeah, and also I wonder about, is the well still,
When it breaks down.
you know?
Okay. He talked about the truck earlier. Someone asked about the well that we helped support building. Is that still running?
It's not still working, because see, now what happened was recently there is a new highway running from Addis to Hawassa. So on the way, they really took off all the pipes, and it's not working as it used to be. For those of you who really know where the well was, the water well was, it was in what we call in the Rift Valley, on the way from Addis to Hawassa. So now there is already a new highway that has been built. So while they were building, they just took out everything, and there is no water there now. The community is not getting water. They just get from different locations.
Any other questions?
How was the harvest?
What?
How was the harvest?
Oh, how is the harvest going? And how is the weather there right now?
Okay, the weather is really very good this year, and we are in what we call the second cycle season, or the second crop season. We normally have 2 crop seasons in Ethiopia. So the first crop season was really good, and the crops were all harvested. And this, just at the moment, there is a very good rainfall, and the crops are really very nice. And actually, in 2-3 months, I think we are going to have a dry season, and where people start growing crops with irrigation. But this year, in general, the season is really very good, and the crops are very good. The harvest is really good.
Thank him for what their entire family does.
Is there any more conflict in your country? There was unrest earlier.
Yeah, we are used to it, and everywhere. So the, actually, we don't have really very serious conflicts in the south. Mostly, it's limited to the north. So we are very lucky, and we really thank God for that. And there are some disputes here and there, even in the southern and in many places all over. But the serious conflict is in the north. So in our case, we can at this time we can travel and come back peacefully, and there is no, we are not that much concerned in the south.
You asked him that? Are people coming into Ethiopia trying to get away from the Middle East?
So, are there many refugees or immigrants coming into Ethiopia?
Well, in the conflicts areas, in the conflict zone areas, like in the close to Sudan, and even internal displacement is very common where there are conflicts. People have to really flee from the disturbance to the neighboring places. So the internal displacement is very much common.
What do we do praying? What exactly, specifically, could we pray for them?
What can we pray for you about?
Actually, we really want very strong prayer for the peace. I mean, we really need to see the peace first, and then we really want also to a prayer for our church members. We really want we want them to just become strong in their faith, and because of this many disturbing news because of the conflicts, and because sometimes there are also when there is shortage of rainfall, because mostly farmers are dependent on rainfall. So if there is a shortage, and there is automatically shortage of food. So we would like the seasons always be good like it is now. And we also want for our farmers to have really enough resources for input. Those are the things that we really need. And especially spiritually, they are really very good, and everybody loves just to worship God and to believe in Jesus or wherever we go. But there is always a question of need from the people. So we should be able to address. So that's something which we cannot really try. We can't really put this aside, and we always come and encourage them and be really strong in their faith and work. So these are the things that really we need a very strong prayer for.
Any other questions? Well, then, thank you very much for talking with us and sharing with us. We'll keep you in our prayers and look forward to seeing more pictures and hearing more about all the work that's being done there.
All right. Okay. We are so glad to see you all, but we really wanted to hear your names, and probably you will tell us everybody just people's name, and we'll try to be in touch with you. This is a wonderful thing to see to see each other, and I think our network system is getting better, so we can do it more frequently, probably in the future.
Yes, we'll have to try more often.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Thank you very much.
And God bless you all.
God bless you too.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
God
bye.
bless you all.
Be blessed.
Coming. And I didn't start the recording right away, so we missed the intro stuff, but we'll try and put the rest online to share with others. And then as we get, like Muse said, I mean, they're working on more pictures and videos, and I didn't know he said they got a drone. So to see a little more on that. And keep praying for the truck. Again, it's working, but it's not quite held together with baling wire induction. But then the problem is that we're just like prices for cars have risen here a lot. Risen there a lot too. So they're looking and praying and hoping. But
So how much do we have half a truck yet, or that we've been collecting here for those?
I think with the new price, we're about half or a little over half, maybe close to 2/3, depending on what kind of deal he finds.
But you said the taxes are.
Well, yeah, right. I think we could pay for the truck, but not all the extra fees and stuff. I think our license fees are. But.
So there's supplies for farming, like the fertilizer and seed. Do we ship those to them, or?
We give him money to buy them. I think it's made. I think it comes from there, but I'm not positive. 100% sure on that. But that's also part of why he needs the truck again, because he's working more in Godola, in this more rural, isolated area than some of the other places he had been. So he needs to bring more stuff with him to do stuff.
Such a dedicated man.
Yeah.
The whole family.
Yes.
It's just absolutely wonderful.
I continue to be amazed at the communication system. How many thousand miles away were we here?
That's a good question. A lot.
Ethiopia is from here.
Yeah, I mean it's
The other side of the world.
other side, 3 or 4, 1,000 miles anyway. It's I think we're double checking. It's about 8 or almost 9 at night there now. So it's about 8 hour difference. But yeah, that's the advantage that they, Hawassa, where they live, it isn't the capital, but it's a big enough city that it's got more resources than some of the other places.
So does that show up on the budget? Do we see like the money that goes to the farm supplies?
Right, yes. So our budget group meeting was happening. The budget committee was meeting at the moment at this time to finalize all of that. And so once it'll go to the board for their November meeting, and then it'll come to the congregation in December. And there's a breakdown of some of what he's asking for some of those different areas and things.
And we're the only resource that supplies that stuff for him?
Right. So, I mean, he worked some out of the big church, the church in Owasso. And we've had other people helping with various things over the years, but I think it's mostly us at the moment. So.
That is to say, Synod is not the support.
Right,
in
yes.
any way.
Right, no, yeah, this is us. Synod's getting more of a presence in Ethiopia. I think we talked at one point that, because the Ethiopian Lutheran churches were founded by some European missionaries, so they were more connected with the Lutheran World Federation. But now as the Lutheran World Federation has gone astray, that's the global organization ELCA is a member of. The Ethiopians have been kind of backing away from the Lutheran World Federation, getting closer to the LCMS, but that's still in process, and it's still a variety. I think that there's some LCMS people at the seminary in Addis now. I think Lutheran Bible Translators has a couple of groups in Ethiopia. The Pastoral Leadership Institute training I did a couple of years ago, they're sending people to Ethiopia to train evangelists and things. So there's connections forming, but not formal yet. If you remember a few years ago, we sent Pastor Gherkin over to Ethiopia, who was our district mission executive. There was some concern over the fact that we're sending he was a more official LCMS presence in some of these places than had been in places, and so we had to walk a little carefully at times. Again, we're the ones that support Kebede directly now too. So
do they have to? Do they have to work with does the government leave them alone?
For the most part, now they do. Yeah.
And isn't that because he's just doing so much good for?
Well, some of it's the government change that it was more communistic in the 60s or 70s, and so there was a shift there. Partly again, some of you remember that at least he was planting trees to help stop erosion. The government was at least directed him where to do that. That gave him some more inroads into places that he might not have gone otherwise. All right. Yeah, one last question then.
Is he close to retirement, or is he thinking
He's getting closer, and that's part of why he's focusing in on this Gadola area that we've been talking about. That's kind of not quite his last hurrah, but the area that needs the most focus at this point.
Does he have someone in mind to take his place?
I don't know. That's a good question. Again, Hussein talked about how he helps his dad and drives him everywhere and things, but Hussein is an IT guy, not a farmer. He's picked up, he can do some, but that's not necessarily his giftedness. All right. We'll end here if we can acquire grass more up, we can get things set up for late service. So, thank you.